Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot. It is 1800 hours Zulu and 2100 hours local time here in Kuwait. And today we are going to be taking a look at it's a preview of a new series of add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator by Black Square or Square Black Square. The guys over at Just Flight were gracious enough to provide me with a preview copy to showcase here on the channel of Black Square's new steam gauge overhaul for the Cessna Caravan, or also known as the analog Caravan. Now, this add-on is it's sort of like the, if you will, the reality expansion pack in X-Plane. If you're familiar with X-Plane, and the reality expansion pack is basically an add-on that sits on top of the default aircraft, some of the default aircraft and some of the payware aircraft that are so well modeled from the visual perspective, but not so much from a system or from the flight model perspective. And what SimCoders does, it adds those levels of immersion and revamps the systems, overhauls the flight model, and makes it a much better aircraft. Essentially, Black Square steam gauge overhaul is pretty similar to that, with a focus on a total system overhaul, focusing primarily on instrumentation, radio navigation equipment, electrical systems. And I'm very actually pleased to have seen a company that does this for Microsoft Flight Simulator, because in terms of system simulation, it is definitely lacking. So I was very excited when I first got the news from Just Flight that Black Square was working on this. But in this stream, we can actually see it live and experiment and see what it really does to the aircraft. We are situated at Yankee Sierra Hotel Tango in Australia. And I want to welcome all of you guys to the stream. Rand Cooley, welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you for your continued support. Joe, welcome aboard. Lucas, hello, my friend. Lone Sparrow 67, welcome aboard, and welcome to the VVIP membership here at the channel. Matthew, hello, my friend. Hamid, welcome aboard. You are just in time, my friend. And we have also with us Emmanuel. Good evening to you, sir. All right. So now the external model is untouched. So the only change is in the interior of the aircraft, which is completely revamped. And we're going to take a look at it. We're going to take a short flight today also to Yankee Mike Echo India, also in Australia, about 80 nautical miles or so, sufficient for us to expose the aircraft systems. I do want to apologize ahead of time, guys, but I've been having this really strange issue with MSFS where the sim pauses every minute or so. It pauses for about 5 seconds and then comes back. I really am not sure, and I haven't really had time to investigate it, so it might ruin the experience a little bit, but hopefully we'll be able to take a look at the aircraft. Now, the aircraft also ships with an extensive manual that tells you just about everything you need to do. It comes with a detailed normal and abnormal checklist. As you can see here, a complete revamp of what the aircraft actually looks. So if you bring up the default aircraft, the default Cessna Caravan versus this one here, you'll definitely notice the difference in the way it looks. Just look at that. Beautiful gauges. And by the way, it's a lot more than what meets the eye. So it's not just the graphical interface, but all these panels have been placed in exactly the right place where you would see it in the real Cessna Caravan. So all the dimensions have been calculated in order to produce a very authentic experience flying the Caravan. And all the systems, every button in this aircraft is operable. So there's no ENOP. Everything works. And if it's in the checklist, it means it's in the real aircraft. And if it's in the real aircraft, it means that it's here in this Cessna Caravan, which is really outstanding. There's a lot of work that's gone in simulating the real Cessna Caravan from a systems perspective in this rendition by Black Square. We're going to begin by taking a look at some of the features. You will also be very pleased to know that the 12 buses and 90 circuit breakers are modeled now, and the sounds are unique. So check this out. The sounds are actually different for each button, each switch, and each knob. And what they've also done is this is the we're going to be using the GTN by TDS today, the GTN 750, but they've created these knobs here, which I think is very smart to cycle through the different navigational devices. So if you look here, you can go between the the Garmin, I think the 530, and then the 750. This is, I think, the 530. And then this is the GTN 750 device. Also, the aircraft is, by the way, you can also switch here. So as you can see, you can switch the secondary navigational device as well using the knobs. Also, the amphibious version is accounted for. So this little knob here, as you can see now, we have a landing gear for the, I don't think it changes the outside yet, but once the, once we have the once the mods are available for the aircraft, you'll be ready to go, and you'll have the landing gear there using this little knob. We don't need it for this flight, as we are, flying on land today, not on sea, so we are not going to use it. Another thing that you will also appreciate is the integration of this weather device, and much to my surprise, I actually saw the weather. It actually was showing the weather, so I'm not sure if it was, we'll take a look at that, but I think it does show the weather. And also, what is very, very cool in this aircraft is this little device here, which is the RNAV navigational system. And it's been built to simulate what the actual device does in real life. And the good thing is that I think this is probably the first time I've seen this device simulated with this accuracy in a flight sim. So lots and lots of details. Again, in terms of an integrated checklist, here a quick overview. As you can see, there's so many checklists because it includes both the normal and abnormal checklist. As you can see here, there's a lot. And we're going to start now powering up the aircraft and taking a look at some of the features in the aircraft, and how Blackmagic has really implemented this depth of simulation of the aircraft systems. By the way, personally, I love gauges. I like to look at gauges more than I like digital displays. So the G1000s normally are not ones for me, but we're going to use the GTN 750 today for navigation. There's the pauses there are just really bugging me. I'm not sure why those are there. We have Dems. Hello, my friend. Diego, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you. And we have W. Crayfish. Welcome aboard, my friend. And thank you for your support being a member here at the Q8 Pilot channel. All right, so we can go to the before start, and we're going to go to the pre-flight checklist is complete. Passenger, by the way, I love the fact I've seen so many add-ons where this little eye icon doesn't work. This one actually works, so it really allows you to study the aircraft. So the pre-flight inspection is complete. The passenger cabin doors are unlocked. Cabin doors are latched. The parking brake is set, and the control lock is removed. Seats and seat belts are secure. The switches, all the switches are off. And by the way, this aircraft will save the state of your radio and your selections. So now that I've selected the GTN 750, the next time I load up the sim, it will bring up the same preferences, and any radio frequencies that you have dialed in Claudia, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. And we have with us Carl Childers just entered the chat. Welcome aboard, my friend, and thank you for your continued support. Juan, thank you very much for being with us this evening. They were able to improve the pitch of the propeller, that the propeller can be profiled correctly. Yes, sir, that is correct. Tom, welcome aboard, my friend. There's a lot more than what meets the eye, as I said. There's a lot that they've done to this aircraft. So the ignition is normal, and emergency power lever on normal. Power lever is on idle, and fire detector warning test. So annunciators test, battery switch can go on here, and I can see those pauses coming, and they're starting to really annoy me now. So let's remove this here so we can see what we're doing. And we can do a quick lamp test here just to make sure everything's working fine. And flap lever up and down. So we can just go ahead and go to the start with the engine with the battery. All right, so the battery switch is on. Avionics 1 is on. And you have the RMI fully simulated as well. And it works exactly like it does in real life. All right, so bus volts 24. So if we go to the battery here, so this is volts, this is the battery, and we have 24 amps. So let's see here. Beacon light is on. I kind of lost track. All right. All right, that's, we can turn this on here. That's the beacon. Right, landing. It's a bit confused there. All right, let's leave that here. All right, so avionics 1 is on. Bus 24 volts minimum, which we have. And then we can go emergency power annunciator extinguished. Prop area is clear. What did I do here? Let me reset this page. All right, beacon lights, avionics, battery, fuel boost pumps is on. And that's the fuel boost pump. It's right here. So we're going to turn this on. And then we can go to the fuel press low, annunciator extinguished, fuel flow none, obviously. Starter switch to start. But I think we've missed some things. Some things are... All right. I know this goes to full forward. All the switches here. By the way, a hung start and a hot start are both simulated in this aircraft. Gibby, welcome aboard, my friend. Caravan only for all the default planes. I'm not sure what the question is. Caravan only for all the default planes. Not sure I follow. All right. So there we go. I think that's the one. All right. And then we can go to the starter switch to start. So we're going to go to the starter switch and go to the start. And now we can see that the engine is starting, and we can see the oil pressure is rising. And we're going to wait until it is stable. That's the oil pressure, by the way. So we're going to wait until it is NG greater than 12%, which it is. Fuel conditioner lever to low idle. There we go. ITT. By the way, I think the ignition should have been on. Something's not right. All right, let me, by the way, I'll show you a few things here just in 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and kill the fuel. And we're going to kill the aircraft, just start it once more. I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong. Fuel boost was on. Yeah, the fuel switches are on. Yep, they were on. All right. So let's go back here. And by the way, just for your info, again, this stuttering is really annoying me a lot. It's kind of distracting me. All right. So if we go to, this is alternator, this is the battery. All right. So if you look here at the battery, if I turn on the landing light, you see how the load has increased on the battery, which is really great. You see that? I love the sounds that they've implemented. Really nice sounds on the aircraft. All right, let's go and we're gonna go back here. Engine start, battery. All of that is good. All right, beacon lights are on. Avionics 1 is turned on. Bus volts 24 amps. And emergency power is extinguished. Propeller area fuel boost pump is on. That's the fuel boost pump is turned on. Fuel low annunciator is extinguished. Fuel flow, none, should be none. And fuel flow there. Starter switch. Right, I'm almost sure that we need the ignition to be turned on. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we can see the oil pressure rising. We're going to wait for it to stabilize and take it to low idle. Okay, and engine instruments, generator switch reset. Something's not right, guys. All right, generator switch reset. Generator load is positive. So let's check and see if the generator load is positive. The battery should be... Now, it looks like we're still powered by the battery. Because normally what happens is when the generator has kicked in, the battery should be discharging. It will show a negative charge, and the generator would show the positive charge, and this is not what we're getting right now. Check above the fuel switches in the... Ah! You are right there. That's the problem. All right, let's repeat that. That's my bad. I'm not sure why the we didn't get it there. All right, let's do this again. I'm going to shut down the aircraft here and fuel boost pump. All right, let's turn off the battery as well. I'm just, guys, I'm really distracted by the these shutters that I'm getting every minute or so. But never mind. All right, so battery is on. Avionics 1 is on. We have the fuel, both fuel tanks are on the on position, and prop is full forward. And now we can come here and make sure the fuel boost pump is turned on. And now we can go to the starter. So ignition is on and start. There we go.
TOS system test OK.
I'm not sure. It looks like we've ruined the aircraft. All right. Let's do this. Battery is on. Auxiliary, the generator. Let's trip that. And select that on. Select starter on. And it is not starting. Yeah, I'm not sure here what happened. I throw the GPU. All right. Well, we can do that. How do we bring in the GPU now? All right, I'll tell you guys what to do. We're just going to reset this, come back. Yeah, I'm not sure what's red external switch. All right, that's fine. We're just going to do this one more time. Let's come over here, set as departure, fly. All right. The price for this product is $29.95, which I think is a fair price for the Benny. Welcome, my friend. Amelia, welcome, my friend. I think for all the work that they've done on this and the fidelity and the depth of simulation, I think it's well worth its price, to be honest. All right, here we go. We're going to change the time, of course. We're not going to fly in. There we go. There we go. All right. So now we can go and start things again. We're going to go over here to the overhead panel. Stand by. Everything is good here. By the way, everything here, so when you're performing emergency procedures on board this aircraft, everything actually works, so you can actually follow the exact procedure in real life for abnormal checklists as well. All right, so let's turn on the fuel tanks here. And then we are going to turn on the battery switch. And we are going to turn on the fuel boost pump on the on position. And we'll make sure the prop is full forward. Everything else looks good to me. And we can now go, avionics 1 is turned on. And we can now turn on the start. There we go. And now we can see the oil pressure rising. We can see the RPM rising. And we'll just wait for it to stable a bit here. And then we're going to take the fuel to low idle. There we go. Much better. Hey, Michael. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. All right, let's do that. Just do the test there. Okay, perfect. All right. So now we have a good start.
TOS, system test okay.
You can see the suction is now in the green. You see how those animations are? Very, very nice animations. So very smooth animations of everything aboard the aircraft. And those stutters are starting to really annoy me a lot. All right, so let's bring up the checklist. And engine start, battery is done. So actually we can skip those. Let me just do things here. So auxiliary fuel pump, we have the generator reset here, right here. So that is reset. The ignition can go to the norm position. Starter can go to the off position. And the fuel pump can go to the off position right now. And now we don't have any lights here, so everything's looking good. Now, if we come here and turn on avionics 2, now we have all the rest of our navigational equipment turned on. And this is this device here, the RNAV navigational system, is one of particular interest to me, as it allows you to create this. By the way, this device is very well simulated and it's fully explained in the manual. But in a nutshell, what it allows you to do is it allows you to create a virtual waypoint anywhere you want by entering the, for example, the frequency of a VOR station. You then enter the radial from the station, then you enter the distance, and it would create a virtual waypoint that you can actually navigate to as if you are navigating to a GPS waypoint, simply by flipping this switch here to RNAV instead of NAV, and then you'll be able to use this device here. We are going to go and turn on, we're going to put this on standby. Again, very nice sounds. And we are going to be flying at a final cruise altitude of 3,000 feet today for the flight. And now this can be tested, the weather device. So we're going to go to, let's see here. We're going to go to test, just to make sure that the device actually works. And it looks like it does work just fine. And then we're going to move this to the on position and leave it there. Next, we're going to come here to our flight plan. And let's go ahead and enter it. We are at Yankee Sierra Hotel Tango. And we are going to take a look here at our flight plan, which is a very simple plan, about 80 nautical miles in total. And we're going to be cruising at 3,000 feet today. All right, so we're going to fly direct to Sierra Hotel Tango. And enter. And that's the one we are looking for. And then from this VOR, we're going to take airway vector 222. So from here, we're going to click on load airway. And now we have vector 222. And we're going to select that. And we're going to exit at Lacey. So that's the one there. So waypoint Lacey, load. Perfect. And next we're going to take airway Whiskey 188. So we're going to add, no, we're going to go back. And we're going to select Lacey. And we're going to say load airway. And we have Whiskey 188. And we're going to exit at Colds, which is this one here. And we're going to say load. And now we have the next airway and exit. And then we're going to take vector 512. So we're going to click here and go load airway. And vector 512 is listed. I love this device. And then we're going to exit at Aston. And then we're going to fly direct. We're going to say load. And then the final destination today is Yankee Mike Echo November. Yankee Mike Echo November. And we're going to hit enter. Now, there is no star for our arrival, but we are going to be, so we're going to say load. There is no load procedure. And we're going to select the approach. The approach is going to be direct ILS 26 through the, let's see here. Is there a, or is it vectors? Let me check here real quick in the flight plan. Aston direct. There's no transition. So we're going to select vectors. And we're going to say load. No. I didn't really want to do that. Let's go back. Flight plan. let's see here. All right, procedure. Load and activate approach. Okay. Well, what is this going to do is if we go here and we zoom out. All right, looks okay. Looks okay. All right. All right, we're going to switch this to, we'll leave this on GPS. And we're just going to zoom in. And we're departing runway 18, which we can see here. And we are now ready to taxi to the runway. By the way, if we look at our VOR station, which is Sierra. Let me just take a quick look here at Sierra. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Are there gauge failures? Yes, there are gauge failures, and if you actually overload your battery, you'll get battery failure and things like that. So there's a lot, again, a lot that we still haven't seen. I just really like this aircraft a lot. I love the gauges, and I love the animations here. And by the way, you can see here now, you can see this GPS. We'll play with this as when we depart. All right, so we're ready to taxi. So we're going to go to taxi checklist. The flight instruments are set and checked. Cabin lights are off. Cockpit lighting is dimmed for taxi. Taxi recall light as required. So there's the taxi light. Inertial separator is as required. You can check it, by the way. You can just take it out and check it. And parking brake is released. Brake test. Remote campus is aligned. We click here. That's your campus right there. And then those are the stutters again here. And by the way, we can set this to free or slave. And we can... Yeah. All right, so we're all checked for a taxi. And we are going to release the parking brake, which is located here. And bring back the yoke. And let's taxi to the runway. The Burko Flyer says, hi, great add-on. I wish it would be released for X-Plane. I have 2020 Premium Deluxe, but I will not load it due to the sim performance. Great stream as always. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and give it some power. And the stutter, the pause that happens, there you go. You see that? That pause is just happening every minute or so, and I really am not sure why. And it's not related to any of the add-ons I have installed, because I've tried removing everything and it simply didn't work. So, so I really am not sure what is the problem with this, with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. All right, but you guys will bear with me, I'm sure. All right, everything is in the green. We can see all the gauges here are indicating good numbers, all green. And by the way, the night lighting that they've implemented is simply spectacular. Really very, very nice. All right, here we go. All right, let me set the parking brake real quick. And we're going to do the before takeoff checklist. So before takeoff, parking brake is set, seats are secure, flight controls are free and correct. Standby alternator is on. So the standby alternator is is somewhere here. That's the standby alternator is on. And then it says standby alternator check 0 amps. So it's hard to see with this which one is the... All right, 0 amps for the standby alternator, which checks okay. Generator load between 30 to 60 amps. Where's the generator? All right, so that's the generator, and it's showing the correct value. Generator switch trip. Standby alternator load should be positive. Okay, which it is. And then we're going to go to trim set for takeoff, flaps 10 or 20 degrees. All right, 10 degrees for takeoff. And then we can turn this, we can leave this on. It doesn't actually say to turn it off. So we have the D-frame de-ice is goes to the on position. You're testing here, we test the autopilot, so you can turn it on and off, but I think it would disengage on the ground on its own. So that's fine. Ice protection as required. And then we can go auto, yeah, so it should disengage now. All right, so that's fine. We've checked that. And then the battery charging is less than 10 amps. Strobes. All right, we have de-ice pressure there, so it does work fine. And let's see here. Our lights, where's our strobe lights? All right, it's hard to see with the sun, sun reflection here on the panel. I can't read what's going on there, but we have that there. And weather radar as required. We can turn this on. I think it is already on. Yeah. Storm windows. Fuel condition lever now goes to high idle for takeoff. And now everything is good. All right. For takeoff, transponder mode is alt. So the transponder is actually here. And if we go here, we can go to altitude reporting. All right, so that's done. And enter that. All right. All right, perfect. And landing lights are on. The landing lights are here and here. Perfect. Power lever set to takeoff. So when we take off, we want to make sure that we do not exceed the red. We don't want to get to the red here. And the props, this is the max we can go. So maybe 1600 RPM or maybe 1700 RPM for takeoff. Would be sufficient. We have this set to 3000, so we are good to go. And we can now release the parking brake. Change time of day to see the panel. That's probably not a bad idea. But yeah, it's definitely very hard to see. Let's change the time here a bit. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah, at least we can see now what's going on there. All right, perfect. Parking brake is released, and let's go. We're gonna watch the speed indicator, about 80 knots. Rotate. Oh yeah, and there's the pause again, just really killing me. we can go to the autopilot, nav, and I think what it's going to do is going to go direct to, yeah, it's going to go right there to colds, which is okay because we've activated the approach. All right, flaps up. Disable OneDrive is a good thing. That pause could be an OneDrive sync. Is it? I don't think OneDrive is turned on though. Alright, so we are on our way, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and intercept the final. So we're skipping all of this because I've activated the approach. So it's going to go direct about 73.3 nautical miles there. Alright, we go to the after takeoff checklist. Let's see. Takeoff, maximum performance climb, propeller 1900 RPM, which is about right. Power lever 1865 foot-pounds of torque. 15, 18, we're less than that. ITT, okay. En route, cruise. All right. So taxi landing lights are off. Pitot heat is on if less than 4C. We are not at less than 4C, and we can check this out right here. If we click on function, we are at 6 Celsius, so there's no need to do that. We are good there. Oxygen as required. Inertial separator as required. Propeller lever at 16 to 900 RPM. So we can actually reduce it a little bit, but we're just fine. Set for cruise. See pilot operating handbook. So we're good there. Now let me see if we can, if we go to the nearest VOR, and we look at this one, for example, MNG. Let's tune in 113.2. So we're going to say 113.2 is tuned. Let's do... Oh, that's the frequency. All right, so 113.2 and transfer. All right, and if we go to back here to the map and go to CDI, you can see this here now, and it will change just like you expect it to. But we're just going to go back to nav. I'm not sure why we're not getting it here. Let's go ahead and go to GPS. And nav. I don't use OneDrive, and I have the same issue. Oh, do you, Rand? You can just activate the first leg of the flight plan. I guess we could do that. So if you go here to... Again, you see these stutters? Very, very annoying. You could do that if you go to the flight plan. And you can go all the way back. I think we're fine. Though, I mean, it's okay. I really like this add-on. I like this aircraft a lot. And I think it really offers something very unique. See, out. We could go to flight plan. Let's see here, flight plan. And we can go to Lacey. Say activate. There we go. Now we should follow the flight plan correctly. There we go, map. And now we have everything loaded correctly for our trip here to Melbourne Essendon, I believe, is the name of the airport. I really love this TDS Garmin device by TDS. I really am not sure what the issue is with this with the stuttering, but I'll tell you, this aircraft is just outstanding. I really love those gauges, love the animations, love the sounds. And of course, it has integration with both the TDS GTN-XI 750, the PMS 50 as well. The electric meter aboard this aircraft responds to all loads by turning the landing lights on, as we've seen earlier. You can see the load on the generator. All the circuit breakers are actually functional, so you can use them. You can simulate different failures and play with it as you like. The automatic standby alternator logic can be demonstrated as well by moving the generator switch to trip, and standby alternator will illuminate. You've got the about 30 normal and abnormal checklist with native control instruments. You have the KNS-80 RNAV computer with data memory, custom weather radar, improved turbine dynamics, and improper engine management will damage your engine to failure without a doubt in this aircraft. Emergency power lever and standby flat motors switch work as it should. Remote campus controller, left of the electric meter, also works, and the oxygen system is fully simulated in this aircraft as well. Have you tried turning off hardware, accelerator, GPU? It is not turned on. Yeah, I'm glad they have the 750. It's a great device, really, and it's really wonderful. And by the way, the TDS GTN 750 from a price point perspective is cheaper than PMS 50 if you want to go for owning the device, so it costs less to own, and of course there is a subscription model with PMS 50, but it becomes really a lot more expensive than this one, which I do not recommend, to be honest. I do recommend that if you want a real, this one is a real Garmin device, just like the one in real world. It's based on the Garmin trainer itself. So all those pauses are just terrible. And I really am not sure what is causing it. I tried so many things, read through the forums, but I haven't really had sufficient time to investigate. Maybe during the weekend, I will take a look and see what the problem is. Yeah, that's a good idea. Two-Turn Murphy, welcome aboard, my friend. Thanks for being here. For me, the latest NV drivers created some stutters. I had to roll back. Oh, really? Oh, that actually might be it. I'll probably take a look, and maybe I will heed your advice and see if that helps. Because it's just really very, very annoying. It just kills the immersion. Why is this not working? Strange. Alright, so we're now back on our flight path. By the way, it's a very short flight. So we're looking here at 4.59 nautical miles. We're going to begin our turn now and head over to the runway. What do you guys think? I'd like to hear your comments. And what do you think of this aircraft with all these steam gauges? And really very, very fine work by Black Square. And by the way, they're the same makers of the taxiways for Europe and the US. I have the same issue, and I have to go to the task manager and turn off one drive. SC10 beta runs great now. Oh, I'll check it out. But thank you guys for all the suggestions there. I think, guys, from my perspective, I think this add-on is a day one purchase. I honestly think it is absolutely worth the money. I think it revamps your experience flying the Cessna Caravan, and I can't wait. The next one, I believe, is the King Air, and that aircraft I really can't wait to put my hands on, because it is absolutely great aircraft, and I can't wait to see the level of immersion that that the steam gauge overhaul is going to bring to that aircraft, and it's next in line. But yeah, I do apologize, guys, if if I wasn't as as organized, I guess, in this stream. They are definitely a great creator, but I've been struggling with this stuttering all day today, trying to fix it for this stream before the time of the stream. And I did want to stream this to you guys and show you, because I got real excited when I saw those gauges. And by the way, they are, just look at that, look at the details there. And when there is turbulence, you will notice that those needles actually start moving. They kind of bounce around. So the simulation is really outstanding. And I really wanted to show you guys this. I know that it might be released in the next couple of days. So you have some sort of a reference point to decide whether this is for you or not, provide you with sufficient insight. What is your favorite GA aircraft for FS 2020? I like a lot the Milvas, Cessna 310 and the Cessna Chancellor. Those are my favorites. But this Cessna Caravan with the steam gauges, I think, is now going to become one of my favorites as well. It does really change everything for you again. And it's just no longer the default Cessna Caravan. It's really, really good. Yeah, Rand, I know you don't like the you're not a gauge guy. I think you've told me this in the past, but I just absolutely love the gauges. And that's why, by the way, I like I like to fly the IXCG 737 with the gauges display rather than the digital displays. It's just, I think it's, you know, old style kind of stuff. Yeah, bit nostalgic. And guys, you have it from the horse's mouth. Just Flight is in the house. Welcome aboard, guys. Glad to have you here with us. And it looks like a week or two after the Caravan is when we're going to have the King Air. Right, we're doing it. This is the, if we just zoom in here a little bit. Let me just show you guys here. This is Colts, and then Monty. This is basically the transition to our destination. Everything is looking perfect right now. I absolutely adore the gauges. I like the checklist. I like this device here, the RNAV navigational device, the KNS-80, if you will. And I will do another. I will do another full video, and maybe a recorded video, on a tutorial how to use this device properly, as it was introduced before the before GPS was ever there. So we are definitely going to do a lot more on this aircraft in the coming days. It really does. By the way, it's although it is based on the default Cessna Caravan, it actually is a completely different aircraft. To me, this is a completely new aircraft, and it's got all the all the systems simulated. You've got all your circuit breakers, and you can start experimenting with these. You can pull them out and see what happens. And yeah, I mean, it's just really very, very nicely done, and highly recommended. $30, I think, is definitely well worth the money. You can see also, I think the seats have received some sort of treatment because they look a lot better than the default. But yeah, this looks pretty good. Now, I did, during a test flight, I changed the weather just to see if this, and I actually got the weather display, so I'm not sure if, if it was accurate or if it was a displaying terrain, but I believe it actually is showing the weather information during the test flight I did earlier today. Yes, Rand, I believe $30 is a fair ask for what this add-on does. And again, it reminds me a lot of the Reality Expansion Pack by Simcoders for X-Plane. And personally, I think this is even better because this actually introduces new systems to the aircraft. And I love the way they've done the switching of the navigational devices. Those starters are absolutely killing me. Yeah, I need to investigate this today, maybe later this evening, and see what's going on there. Here's a look at the outside, by the way. Nice terrain here over Australia. Beautiful aircraft. Very nice indeed. And once we, you know, one thing I do want to show you guys is, let me do this actually now, because I think it's very, very cool what they've done with the night lighting as well. So if we move this here, all right, here, let's do this, all right, and we're gonna come down here. Guys, just check this out. Maybe just a notch here. Look at the radios. Look at those lights. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Circuit breakers. You see that? There's absolutely no dark areas, which is, it becomes extremely unrealistic, you know, when there is a dark area and you can't really see, because normally when you have the lights on, you know, you can see. Just, guys, look at this. And by the way, we can turn this also to, here, let me show you this. So on the panel here, you see how bright this is? You can, if you go to night mode, then it's not so bright. Oh, this is cool. This is just really cool. I mean, the details they put in this aircraft is just phenomenal. Just look at all these. This really enhances night flying in this aircraft. That is really very, very cool. Look at that, guys. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous night lighting in the Cessna Caravan, which should really make your flights very, very immersive during nighttime. Brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. We're coming up to our turn, and we should be arriving momentarily to our destination. Here's a look at the external view. Just really gorgeous. I'll tell you guys, there are some really creative people out there, and I think Black Square, I keep messing up their name. Black Square has done a remarkable job with this steam gauge overhaul for this default Caravan. And now I'm actually super excited about the King Air because it happens to be one of my favorite GA aircraft. So I'm really getting very excited about this. And I think this is one of the things that will probably draw me more into exploring Microsoft Flight Simulator and doing more flights with it. When you get something of this fidelity, it's really something very special. So if we come here, we're going to turn our landing lights on. Seatbelt and non-smoking. Cabin. Those lights are gorgeous. We should be making our turn momentarily here. And by the way, this is our airport right there. So that's the runway, straight in. It's going to be a straight in approach. There, let's take a look. Zoom in. What did I do? There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's a straight in. Monty. That's the runway 0. Which runway we were arriving at? Let me check our flight plan. Runway 26. So this must be it. That's right. So it's going to be a straight in approach into the airport. All right, let's go back. Are we about to hit this mountain? We are flying pretty close, aren't we? Well, we should get the proximity warning from if we were to hit the terrain. If the terrain was, if it was an obstacle, the GTN device would give us a warning, so I think we should be able to clear it. But it looks as if we are just way too close to it. I love this GTN device. Absolutely gorgeous. Very spectacular scene here as we arrive into our destination. By the way, if we just go very quickly here on the checklist and engine, you see, guys, you see this? There, all the abnormal checklists are there for you. Battery hot, battery overheat, generator failure, engine failure, and you can actually follow all of these. So OTS required, no smoking is on, reduce power lever, okay, and then before landing, oxygen is off, landing lights are on, inertial separator as required, high idle, propeller lever full forward, autopilot disconnect, okay. See here, this is blinking waypoint. It corresponds to what's happening here. And here's the turn. Spectacular. By the way, I've turned, I believe I do not have FS Realistic running today. And the reason I decided to turn it off is I did not want to misrepresent the sounds that come with this aircraft. So I've simply decided not to run it in this flight today. The TDS is definitely faster. That's because it is based on the real Garmin device. And I've noticed that sometimes it's in some situations, the TDS device sort of, kills the frames. In certain situations, not always. It doesn't kill them, but you lose about maybe 10 FPS or so. But it is definitely one of the best, really. If I were to pick between PMS and the TDS, the 750, I'll always go with the 750. And by the way, I have both of them. Both are great, but personally, as a matter of personal preference, I think the TDS version is much better. And by the way, it has all the features. It has a lot more features than the PMS 50. So, and on the price point, there's no contest. This one is much cheaper. So, is the turning indicator all right? Bull is quite to the left. It is a bit to the left. You are right, yeah. Man, this is a really beautiful looking scene. Not too much longer for our arrival. And let's take a quick look here at our flight plan. Just look at the the sharpness of the GTN by TDS. So if we go back, go to our flight plan. This is the second airway. And if we go down, this is the approach. So beginning at Monty, right here. Perfect. See how it shows the line here to the nearest airport? Just brilliant. What does it say? Unavailable. Oh, okay. Well, I think we can change the time back to maybe right there. I think that looks good. So we'll see different times of the day. And here comes our turn. And we're heading to Monty. All right, so what we can do now is we can go and activate vectors to final at Monty is what we'll do. And we have already the ILS frequency here at standby 109.9er. And we're looking good. Boeing Corp, welcome aboard from Logan, New Jersey. Glad to have you with us this evening, sir. All right, let's take a quick look here. And if we look here, we've got about 7.6 nautical miles to Monty. So what we can do at this point, we can go back and we can go to procedure. And we say activate vectors to final. And now we can also, so as soon as we As soon as we are exactly at Monty, what we'll do is we will switch to V-lock and activate the approach and switch the frequency to the ILS frequency to intercept the localizer for runway 26. Has anybody bought the Coronado Cessna 337 Skymaster? Is it worth buying? I haven't, Boeing Corp. I've purchased this aircraft from the marketplace. It's probably, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's not a bad aircraft, but it's the regular Coronado. I mean, the visual model looks fantastic. But beyond that, I mean, don't expect anything high fidelity in terms of system simulation. But yeah, it's okay. All right. Now what we can do, folks, is we can, let's go back, and we're going to switch this to V-lock, and we are going to go and select approach. Perfect. Now the aircraft's going to do its thing. We need to set the course. To 260. There we go. What is the aircraft doing now? That's not what it's supposed to do. All right, let me just go to heading select. All right. I'm going to start reducing our speed. Well, we need to switch that. There we go. And now we can go to approach. There we go. Much better. Glide slope is now active. Man, those pauses are just absolutely dreadful. This is one of the things I don't like about Microsoft Flight Simulator is the instability of the platform. I'm going to begin reducing our speed. Just look at that. That's the that's the runway, I suppose. Ahead of us now. And we continue the descent. Beautiful. Just beautiful, everything as expected. If we crash again today, I will not fly with this company again. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. We're looking good. And we will disengage the autopilot momentarily and hand fly the aircraft. Right, let's flaps. Right, we have full flaps. Just the throttle. All right, and at this point, let's go ahead and disengage
500.
the autopilot. My aircraft. A little bit of wind here as we come into land. You can feel the crosswind. Ooh. Some serious crosswind there, which makes it even much more interesting and fun to fly this caravan. We're a bit too high. Those stutters. It just kills the immersion. Long landing. Wow. Happens to me all the time. Oh, don't stutter again. Oh, God. All right, so I think I needed aileron as I came into land because of the crosswind. So that was my bad for sure. But nonetheless, a really enjoyable flight. I really enjoyed flying this Cessna Caravan with the steam gauge overhaul by Black Square. Very nice indeed. I think we just can park the aircraft here. That's fine. Why are all these cars here? Parking brake set. Man, listen to those sounds. Beautiful. Just really beautiful. Well, folks, this is pretty much it for today's rapid exit taxiway. Yeah, exactly. This is pretty much for our show today. I really am very sorry I got distracted so many times by the stuttering that's going on. But I promise you that we will be doing a lot more on the Cessna Caravan with the steam gauge overhaul by Black Square. In my view, this add-on is top-notch, and it is definitely well worth its price of just under $30. It's a day one purchase as far as I'm concerned. Steve, welcome aboard, my friend. So definitely, guys, I would recommend it. I would recommend it without a doubt, with full confidence that it will definitely bring a lot of enjoyment to your flying experience, and it does really take the Cessna Caravan to a whole new level of immersion, and the fidelity of the simulation of all the systems is fantastic. So the link is provided in the description. Just click that, and if it's not available for purchase today, just click on notify me, and Just Flight will notify you once it is available for purchase. I want to thank you all today for tuning in, and I hope that you've enjoyed this stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.